We've got a Hall of Fame instigator on our hands. Steve Kerr, man. Expose, my boy. Woof! This is a downfall I've always loved and waited for. Because the infamous video of Draymond Green absolutely sliming out Jordan-Poole at practice, was basically analyzed by a professional lip reader. If you guys don't know, this guy has like almost 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. He basically took into quick analysis that video and actually found out the context and what actually occurred between Kerr, Draymond, and Poole and why did it even happen. So Steve Kerr told Jordan-Poole to stand up for himself and be a man when Draymond Green was talking, ish to him. And Poole said to Draymond, "You're an expensive backpack for 30, which led to Draymond Green sliming out Jordan-Poole. So Jordan-Poole was actually just going to stay quiet, but his head coach said, "Jordan-Poole, you're going to let that man disrespect you? Personally, me, I would not let that slide, man. Be a man." So he did what his head coach told him to do, which led to Draymond Green sliming out Poole. And I understand Michael Jordan, has slimed out Steve Kerr before, threw him around, like a rag doll. Michael Jordan said, you want to talk, my boy? Built like a fish, slimed him out. And he, for some reason, thought Jordan-Poole should have the same fate. Thought this was the 80s, thought this was the 80s, early 90s. No, this isn't. This isn't that. This relationship literally died. Like, if I was Jordan-Poole, I would want to get the hell out of there too. Because at the end of the day, your leader on the court slimed you out. Your leader that's on the sideline literally instigated you getting slimed out. My man, I'm out of there too. I'm out. Straight up. So I don't blame Jordan-Poole in this situation. But he didn't even request the trade. They ended up basically saying it was either Poole or Draymond. They decided to trade Poole. Poole was just like, "Yeah, I'm out of there. I'm not too mad about that." At the end of the day, they ended up giving Draymond Green $100 million, a maximum extension for him. Meanwhile, Jordan-Poole got traded for 40-year-old Chris Paul. And this is the Steve Kerr Development Act. Because we all know the Warriors, giving Steve Kerr all these championships wasn't because Steve Kerr is an amazing coach, all-time coach Steve Kerr. Because when you're going to think about the Warriors championships, you're not going to go straight to Steve Kerr. He's not even going to be a top 5 reason why they won a championship. Actually, the coach before Steve Kerr will get more praise on developing Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, So, you look at the Bulls, right? Jordan's Bulls. You look at Pimpin, you look at Jordan, and then you look at Phil Jackson. Because Phil Jackson, at the end of the day, was a vital part of that success. This Warriors, you could go out and get a LeVar Ball to coach the Warriors with KD, Curry, all these guys. They're going to win a chip. You can put LeVar Ball in there. You're still winning a championship, my man. So what I've said is Steve Kerr sucks at developing young talent. Look at Kuminga. Look at Jordan-Poole getting slimed out because of Steve Kerr, which just proves my point. He doesn't know how to be an actual great head coach. You've just been blessed with 2 of the greatest shooters of all time as you inherited the position. Then you win a championship because the Cleveland Cavaliers didn't have their 1 and 2 star. That's like you're trying to play a finals. That finals with only Curry, no Klay Thompson, and no Draymond Green. Who would have won that finals? Easily the Cavs. But instead, you had a healthy team. B and C options were out. Then you play 2016 fully healthy, fully everything, and boom, you lose. You blow a 3-1 lead historically. Then you guys have to go and call and cry for Kevin Durant to join the Warriors. Now you have a full all-star team. You had 4 all-stars in the starting 11 and a finals MVP coming off the bench. Jeez. Just to stop that Cavs team. You beat them back-to-back. He lost Kyrie, too, in the second go-around, and he almost still stole Game 1 if it wasn't for J.R. Smith, being off the Henny, possibly, allegedly. And then you end up playing a Raptors team, and you're crying about injuries, right? But at the end of the day, that Raptors team was inferior to you with or without KD. That's the solid truth. But you know what happened? That Raptors team outplayed you. Fred VanVleet outplayed you. Kawhi Leonard outplayed you. All these guys stepped it up. Meanwhile, you had Curry, Draymond, all these players don't not have as great of a game. If anything, to me, Klay Thompson, before getting hurt in that series, was lighting it up more than Steph Curry. But anyways, at the end of the day, for me, that 22 ring, you say, oh, ignore it. Throughout the whole playoffs, the likes of Ja Morant, all these guys were getting injured, 100%. So I'm not trying to take away from the championship, though. At the end of the day, I just think you got blessed with the generational player in Steph Curry. You got blessed with Klay Thompson, who was a generational shooter. You got blessed with KD giving you 2 more chips than you should have had. That's really it. Steve Kerr, it's not like he built a player from the ground up. He's not that guy. You give him young talent. You give him Wiseman. You give him Kuminga. You give him Jordan-Poole. These are 3 young talents that he screwed up. Not only did he screw them up, one of them even got slimed out on camera at practice. That's the Steve Kerr effect with young players. And that's why nobody will ever respect Steve Kerr as a head coach. This guy is genuinely a puppet. Straight up. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Steve Kerr and his track record with developing young players? To me, it's horrendous. It's actually horrendous. So that's why I don't call him a top coach. Ever, never will I ever call him that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.